Having now not only finished the story of Diablo the Reaper of Souls on both easy, normal, hard, and hardcore difficulty settings on 4 to 5 different torment levels, in addition to doing the story mode just by myself from start to finish with a created character that I had originally started from the initial concept layout of the character design I made back on PlayStation 3's version of Diablo when I did the demo. I wanted to sit here and go over a lot of the things I found really fascinating about having experienced Diablo so far. Starting with the huge variety of characters that you can delve into. Because I mean, I've had my pros and my cons working with all 6 characters so far, but they they all have their own individual quirks about them. The ones I mainly did like from the main 6 was the wizard, the demon hunter, the monk, and weirdly enough, the witch doctor. I could actually say those things really caught my interest, especially the demon hunter and the monk. I love the playing styles, and I love the multi paradigm outlines that you can make in order to make constructive one-shot builds, and then just go out in the field and test them. I tested them numerous different times, running either Act 3 or Act 4, or just running the Dimensional Rift, and it was just such a phenomenal outline. I'm also aware that the 7th character outline for a previous character class from the preceding Diablo entry that was reintroduced into Diablo 3, the Necromancer outline, is new, and it came out not that long ago. It's an option that is available to me that I will eventually take a look into, and I will try to document my playthrough with the Necromancer accordingly. Because it looks like a very nice class to come through. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a death-themed type of spellcaster looking outline. And it looks like it does a whole lot of mainly magic predominant based stuff that's focused on just using the dead or mediums and spiritualistic catalysts and the works. And so it looks like a nice playthrough that I would love to take a delve into when the time comes. Another facet I want to elucidate on some is the facet of the hardcore mode, or known as permadeath. This feature was one of the biggest highlights of playing hardcore mode with and without the Apocalypse Ring that I found to be very engaging and highly challenging in playing this game, and it's the first RPG I've ever played that's introduced the permadeath feature for me. And for those of you that don't know what this is, I can explain this real quick. It's a hardcore difficulty where the tier system and ranking and playability factors are separate from normal game files or folders. Hardcore characters that you can create all have specific armors and stuff that go to them that can't all transfer to other characters unless they're also of the same hardcore file outline. Which is why when I did my streams, if you notice where you see tier systems where they say hardcore right over top of the name or normal over top of the name, those are all different. So a set file or folder from a hardcore character file can't coexist with a normal character file. It comes from 2 different tiers. Also, in hardcore mode or permadeath mode, what happens is that characters here cannot be resurrected. They become permanently unplayable and automatically wiped clean from the hard drive if they're killed in combat. So if you die any one time specifically you die, that's it. Automatic game over permanently. That character and file is no longer available, it is null and void. So you have to literally delete everything. So anything valuable that you had on that playthrough or that's attached to that character, you cannot touch it ever again. You have to grind and do everything all over again for it. I like that a lot. And what is it? After you die, the ghost of the hardcore character can still talk, and the name shows up in rankings, but the character cannot ever return to the game. because I found that out the hard way when I went to try and do hardcore mode with the first demon hunter that I did, and I ended up getting caught really bad in the behind by some walking torso. It came out of nowhere, kicked my ass, and then I just suddenly died before I could reach the teleporter. And then, boop, that's the end of the game. Die before I could even get the ball rolling. And I like that feature because it adds a huge amount of challenge to watching my step, pacing myself out, and knowing everything ahead of time before I make a big play. And so it helps in a vast amount of preparations. So all in all, the permadeath feature I love. That added a huge plus point for me in the general attraction in liking and wanting to be more associated and acquainted with the gameplay in Diablo. And lastly was just the varying love into expanding the game as in deeply as it was able to go for as long as this game's been around. The game's been around easily for a good 5 years now, and the popularity for this game is still just as high as ever, if not more so, because of the recent attention that came in with this latest DLC, where you pretty much do the whole thing over again, but now with the 7th person installed into the gameplay. And there's just been a whole lot about this game that's been fascinating in those regards that I've mentioned. I really owe this to Aqua Megadeath because it was him wanting to introduce me to a whole new platform of roleplay gaming that I've never seen before, or have never seen this in-depthly, that allowed me to really get involved in wanting to play the game. And so I owe Doug a lot on this one, because he knows that I've loved playing RPGs for years, coming from Final Fantasy, Golden Sun, Star Ocean, and then the past several years easily just delving into Kingdom Hearts after the whole Golden Sun craze died down. And then he just decided, hey, you know, I played this RPG, I wanted to try and give you a chance to get into it, play it at your own pace, tell me what you think about it. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, that's alright. It's another benefit that came off of the very advantageous share play that I have going on with them. And this was not bad. Like, this was a really great gameplay experience. And I was able to take some time to sit here and reflect upon a lot of the promising highlights that I loved about the gameplay that I would like for other RPGs that I played, or if there are any other RPGs out there, to try and expand on this. Because that definitely adds some replay value for me, if not most people that I know. Moving on to what will happen next with my time in playing this game, the replay value again has actually been astronomically high, to a point where I was able to grind many different things about this game to where the platinum is actually within my grasp of having. The last few things I need to do are the most tedious tasks to actually work to try to accomplish in the game, next to the previous surpassing of the hardcore difficulty 2 times over. With a vast amount of time dedicated to the, 400 something, 500 quests in this game, in addition to the storyline for the Necromancer that now should be complete, which I have not started yet. Completing those, in addition to completing the Necromancer playthrough specifically, the platinum of the game is almost more or less secure. Now it's just actually realizing that. If I can get it, hey, hooray, that's platinum number 23. If I can't, then that's okay. I at least have solace in the fact that I tried and got that close. And in the process of having a brand new experience, I'm able to relish on the fact in being that close to attaining something that's almost more or less unattainable in normal decree. While I'm still here on PlayStation 4 for the most part, my time will be a little less dedicated to Fall of Cybertron and a little more dedicated to playing this game or Rainbow Six Siege or probably Ghost Recon Wildlands in order to try to continue delving into newer challenges out there. All means, you can leave a like or comment in order to give your particular perspective on Diablo or in your past experiences in playing the game. Until next time, guys, y'all take care.